Hi, we're learning about life science and biology in a nutshell. So, we were learning about the glyoxylate cycle, and the glyoxylate cycle occurs in non-animals, mostly plants and non-animals, so bacteria, protists, and fungi, microorganisms, etc. So fatty acids are broken down into components which lead to um, carbohydrates, basic carbohydrates components. This generally occurs in the peroxisome and the mitochondria. Here you can see fatty acid molecule via ATP usage or energy. It is converted into acetyl-CoA, um, and the cytosol in the mitochondria, it, it can be converted to other carbohydrate molecules such as glucose. So acetyl-CoA is derived from carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. The TCA or tricarboxylic acid cycle or Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle, all the same thing, converts acetyl-CoA from fats, carbohydrates, and proteins into carbon dioxide and chemical energy. However, in the glyoxylate cycle, um, the difference is that instead of carbon dioxide being released, the simple carbon compounds are used in the later synthesis of macromolecules, including glucose. This occurs once again in fungi, green algae, plants, cyanobacteria, as shown here. It usually does not occur in animals, such as this newt cell, stained fluorescent dye. The citric, the citric acid cycle takes place in the inner mitochondrial membrane, as well as in animal cells as well. While the glycoxylate cycle does not occur in animals, it's usually in plants and germinating seeds as a way of making glucose. Um, when carbon sources are needed, and the glyoxylate cycle allows simple carbon compounds to be turned into complex sources such as glucose when they're unavailable. So in glyoxylate cycle, the decarboxylation steps that take place in the TCA cycle are bypassed, allowing simple carbon compounds to be used in synthesis of macromolecules, including glucose. So fatty acids from lipids are used commonly as an energy source by an example of a complex carbohydrate is cellulose, an organic compound with formula shown here. It's a polysaccharide consisting of linear chain. A triple strand of cellulose shows here the cyan lines are the hydrogen bonds between the glucose strands making up this polysaccharide. The formula C6H10O5. Cotton represents the purest natural form of cellulose. It is more than 90% of the polysaccharide cellulose. Carbohydrate is defined as molecule consisting of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So we have a formula here, structural, showing that in red you have the aldehyde group. The blue atoms are the highlight the asymmetric center. There's OH on the right. When the hydroxy group is on the right, this is called a D sugar. Sucrose, which is a carbohydrate, is a common disaccharide consisting of two monosaccharides, D-glucose and D-fructose. So shown here. So this carbohydrate with the aldehyde right here, CHO. So the term anabolic versus catabolic. Anabolism is powered by catabolism, where large molecules are broken down into smaller parts and then used up in cellular respiration. Many anabolic processes are powered by the hydrolysis of adenosine triphosphate, or ATP. Anabolic processes tend toward building up of organs and tissues. An anabolic state, or anabolic steroids, for example, molecules, refer to the muscle building processes, the hormones that promote them as well. Anabolism, or biosynthesis, the sequences of enzyme catalyzed reactions by which relatively complex molecules are formed in living cells. So being in an anabolic state is achieved through three major factors: training, diet, and rest. The diet part of being in an anabolic state is to make sure you get enough carbohydrates and proteins, eating throughout the day in small portions but frequently, and healthy meals. Nutrition and rest is what allows the muscles to repair themselves and to grow. Make sure you also get enough rest and sleep for recovery between workouts. You also have to drink water, receive water, and protein supplements can also be used, which also glutamine, which is a great amino acid, aiding in the recovery of muscles. The next term, which is catabolic, is a state which is the opposite of anabolic, and it is breaking down the muscle fibers. This is done when